레이미! 심판을 부탁하마!
내 이름은 레이네라니까.
She's built different, but she is also cute. She has chain skill like Akuma's Shangoku Satsu, and proclaimed to be the strongest demon god. But the question is she good or not? Today we will have a full review of Destroyer Pymon. We will talk about her profile, abilities, exclusive weapon, suggested builds, and I will give you my thoughts on every topic. Let's go first to her profile. Spoiler warning. The next scene contains story spoilers. You may pause this video and skip to the ability part. You have been warned. Pymon is one of the 4 demon gods who once ruled the demon world. He proclaims to be the strongest among demon gods. However, he lost his body because he was defeated by Lilith in arena in battle. He wanted to be reincarnated through the body of a girl named Rainai. He chooses her because of her enormous mana. This is her full story. This is her hero information. Now let's go straight to her abilities. Pymon has a party buff of defense plus 45%. On max awakening, she will also have plus 5% shield increase on battle start and skill damage plus 8%. This buff is very good in PvP and other hard stages contents. Her normal attack is called Demon God Power. It is separated into a normal attack and a character skill. Demon God Punch. Swings her fists to deal melee damage to enemies. Her normal attack is so simple, but it is very effective in PvP because of its forward punches and dash. Take this. Throws a giant lava boulder at the enemy to inflict range damage and taunt nearby enemies. Unlike other normal taunt skills, this skill is range. You can hit the enemy even if it's far away. It is also can pass through walls. Her chain skill is called the Demon God's Back says it all. It is down to injured. Instantly approaches and pummels the target to inflict 240% of DPS damage in the form of melee damage. Her chain skill looks like Akuma's Shangoku Satsu in Street Fighter. It doesn't have high damage, but its ailment status was good. You can easily team her up with any heroes. Her special ability is called God of Battle. Slightly increase ailment resistance. Damage dealt to enemies will increase by 15% and damage taken decreases by 10%. When the ailment stats begin to stack, damage dealt to enemies will additionally increase by 15%. This ability is so good at PvP. Enemies will have a hard time stacking ailments for chain skill, and it also makes you tankier and stronger. Now let's see her exclusive weapon. Her exclusive weapon is called Planet Buster. And it's an epic gauntlet. What I like most in its stats is the shield increased on battle start. It will make her tankier in battle. This weapon's special ability is what makes her even stronger in PvP. On hit, reduce attack by 20% for 6 seconds. This activates once every 8 seconds. Increase Demon God Power's damage by 25%. Creates additional magma carpets that inflict 150% of DPS damage in the form of melee damage when using Chaos Destruction. Oblivion. Her debuff is so good in PvP. It will be very useful in dealing with high DPS enemies. Her weapon skill is called Chaos Destruction Oblivion. It is level 5. It has an attack of 270% DPS and a regen time of 8.5 seconds. Jumps up to create a fissure on the landing area to inflict melee damage and puts enemies in a down state. It is a simple yet very effective skill. It's so easy to target and hit the enemy. Some weapon skills required you to prolong the hits to build up ailment status. But in this skill, you only need to slam the enemy once. You only need 2 hits of this skill to proc her chain skill. Collecting this weapon will grant you a permanent stat of defense plus 1%. Now let's go to our recommendation checklist. In this checklist, we will have 3 indicators. Green check for good, orange check for average, and red X for bad. Let's start with story mode. I think Pymon is a very good character in the story. First, she is so tanky, she will be good in clearing hard stages. Second, she can provide defense stats to all party members. Third, she is a very unga bunga character. It means she is a very beginner-friendly hero. You can literally spam her attacks and skills when using her. So it is a big green check for story mode. Second is guild raid. I don't think she will be viable in guild raids because she is a tank and her DPS is too low. So it's a red X for guild raid. Third is expedition. Same with guild raid, I don't think she will be good in expedition because of her lack of area skills and DPS. It is also a red X for expedition. Fourth is Colosseum. I think she has potential in Colosseum. My first reason is, she has an ailment status resistance. It will be good against one-shot proc weapon skill like Future Princess and Lena. Second reason is, she can reduce the damage of the enemy by 20% with only 2 seconds intervals. Third, she can easily mix and match with other Colosseum characters because of her chain skill. I haven't seen any high-ranked players using her in Colosseum, but I think she has potential based on her abilities. It's an orange check for Colosseum for now. Last is Arena. I think Pymon was made specifically for Arena. Her skills and stats are designed to take advantage of the Arena mechanics. Let's talk about first her ailment status resistance. At this moment, we all know that chain skill is very crucial in winning the match. But because of her ailment status resistance, she has the advantage to proc her chain skill first than the enemy. Second, she had a lot of good self buffs and debuff to the enemy. Not only she can make herself very tanky, but she can also reduce the damage of her opponent. Third, her attack and skill are very easy to use and also efficient too. Her weapon skill is so easy to aim, her enemy will have a hard time dodging it. She is basically an Unga Bunga character, you can spam her attacks and skills all the way. We can see here that many high-ranked players are already using her in Arena. It is a big green check for the Arena. I think Pymon was a really great and fun to play character, especially in Arena. I can confidently say that she is a meta in Arena. Her stats and skill are designed to take advantage of Arena mechanics. I think she has potential in Colosseum, and I hope to see someone who will use her in the top ranks. This is a little off topic, but this item doesn't really have a real purpose back then. But now, this is the only good item that can counter Pymon's decrease attack. I hope this checklist will help you to decide if you will summon her or not. Now let's go to the item build guide. Let's start with the adventure build. For her weapon, use her exclusive weapon Planet Buster for additional DPS. For accessory, you can start with Necklace of Blessings from the Amazon equipment shop, it is only 22,000 gold. It will give you more toughness for survivability. You can upgrade to these high toughness accessories for higher level enemies. For cards, if you are a new player, you can start with these 2 cards in the Amazon equipment shop for only 60,000 gold each. It is 1 attack card and 1 defense card. You can use 2 defense cards to boss enemies. For merch, use Sealed Goddess Snow Globe for additional toughness and fire element damage. For relic, use any relic that has crit multiplier or damage dealt to boss monsters. We will skip the guild raid and expedition build because I am not recommending Pymon in these contents. The next build is for Colosseum. For her weapon, use her exclusive weapon Planet Buster for additional DPS and attack debuff. For accessories, use Ring of Fortress on a budget build. You can upgrade to these high toughness accessories for later builds. For cards, use 2 defense cards for additional defense. For merch, use Sealed Goddess Snow Globe for additional toughness or smiley face cushion for stacking up shield on battle start. For relic, use any relic that has PvP damage or crit hit multiplier. Last is the arena build. For her weapon, use her exclusive weapon Planet Buster for additional DPS and attack debuff. For accessories, use Ring of Fortress for high toughness low budget build. You can upgrade to these accessories for later builds. For cards, use 2 defense cards for additional toughness. For merch, use Sealed Goddess Snow Globe for additional toughness or smiley face cushion for stacking up shield on battle start. Use any relic that has PvP damage or crit hit multiplier. Now it's time to see her in action.
활활 타오르는군. 한꺼번에 덤벼라! 한꺼번에 덤벼라! 한꺼번에 덤벼라!
이렇게 나의 선원들 곁으로.
활활 타오르는군. 활활 타오르는군. 잠이 온. 활활 실수를 주인이야.
방해하지 마라.
That's it for now, don't forget to subscribe and see you in the next video.